That's right, Kelly, but luckily a deputy was able to make contact with that man that was inside of the home behind me by telephone. He was able to convince the man to come outside. Now, as we take a live look over my shoulder, you can see the phone that was used by that man. It's resting on the tail end of that Ford Mustang as a result of this early morning fatal crash. Take a look over my shoulder here. You can see the Cherokee that sparked that 8-car pileup still on scene here.
Jennifer, good evening. You are looking live as firefighters from Golden Gate Fire Department have just brought their ladder truck on scene.
Well, when we first got here, cats were all over the streets, but right now animal control officials have started to round up as many cats as they can outside. They've been caging them in cages like this, and then they're moving them into their trucks, trying to get them out of the area.
Good evening, Kelly. It's been quite a crazy day for all these residents in Southern Pines. Now I want to step out and show you what you were looking at here. This is actually a roof.
And workers say this all went down just after noon. A nearby window washer came in offering his services for cash. Instead, he walked out with more than just a few bucks, an entire bucket full of it. Hundreds, and nearby businesses saw it all go down.
If any of these businesses along the beach are going to file a claim, they're going to have impeccable paperwork. This is the checklist they handed out tonight.
Detectives knew the calls were made from right here in Lehigh Acres by tracing them to a cell phone tower right here on Ansel Avenue. That led them right to their suspect.
We wanted to find out how long it would take to fill up this trash bag with litter left behind on the roadways. Let's find out. I didn't even make it to the end of the block, and this is how much trash I picked up.
The city also has a fuel truck here on scene, so firefighters never have to leave, and this is all part of a new system. You'd think at a fire like this, the last thing you want is gas. But it's actually one of the most important resources. You need fuel to power all of the equipment. Getting these trucks the gas they need, though, hasn't always been efficient.
It's not practical to go south several miles to a gas station.
Before, firefighters had to leave the scene to fill up, but not anymore.
I actually have 2 fuel trucks that we can do mobile deliveries.
The city used to rely on an outside company to supply fuel, but a private company wouldn't supply gas to a scene like this, and if they did, it would cost a pretty penny.
We're a few hundred feet away. We can provide as much fuel as they need, and they can get right back out.
This new truck is like a gas station on wheels. The city buys the gas in bulk and takes it wherever it's needed, saving money and time.
When this fire flares up again like it has every day for the past 4 days, we need to get back in there in a timely manner.
This system will be used during other emergencies as well.
Their backup generators are all powered by diesel. So now this mobile truck, in like a hurricane situation, can go to all these sites and top off fuel, not relying on an outside vendor.
Hammering, sawing, drilling. 180 workers, 6 days a week, and they have just 11 months.
Progress is moving faster than a lot of people thought it might, and this thing is really starting to spring out of the ground.
The beginning stages of the new JetBlue Park create the new skyline along Daniels Parkway.
The first thing you're going to see is the left field seating area. It's springing up right now.
And taking a look inside the park.
Pardon me, this right here is the clubhouse.
The steel outlines the clubhouse and press area behind home plate.
And if you're at Fenway, it's the same way.
Dubbed as Mini Fenway, JetBlue Park shares the same dimensions, including this 37-foot wall.
That will be there.
We have actually
1,443 tons of steel and 8,000 cubic yards of poured concrete will be used once the stadium is complete. Besides all the work being done on the main ball field, workers are installing under train into 6 other practice fields that should be ready by the end of next year. And it will take 27,000 tons of topsoil for all 7 fields in which they hope to start planting in June. If weather isn't too much of a factor, construction will keep moving and the new park should be open on schedule.
It'll all come together at one time. There's nothing that they're specifically looking to fit any one thing to be done first.
We noticed a lot more cats roaming around the neighborhood. Our garbage kept getting knocked over. Every so often we'd smell the stench.
The neighborhood had become a feline frenzy. She had enough.
It was time to call animal control.
But when they got on scene, they found the entire home crawling with cats.
Could have been prevented if these animals were spayed and neutered.
So many cats, they had to call for backup. Animal Services found out the person who lived here died last month. They needed a search warrant to get inside. So they started rounding up the cats on the outside. Some didn't want to go willingly. But with a little persuasion, animal control officers were able to lure them in and load them up. Nearly 8 hours later, the search warrant was signed and officers moved in.
Quite horrendous. Inside the home, we found a large accumulation of feces and urine.
You just want to vomit.
They captured and caged 127 cats.
That's too much cats.
Unbelievable. I'm astonished.
Although hungry,
they don't have any food or water.
Many seemed friendly, others not so much. While some of the kittens are in good condition, others will have a long recovery.
There were cats that did have large open wounds, broken limbs.
But officials believe within a week, most will be able to be adopted.
Hopefully, and they'll hopefully find good homes.
It's the same bocce court, slightly modified.
We have complete resolution.
The federal government says the city of Cape Coral can continue to play ball.
Tap the blue!
The U.S. Department of the Interior deeming the bocce ball courts at Veterans Park ADA compliant.
Our accommodations have been seen appropriate by the federal agencies, and I feel very good about it.
The problems began earlier this year. That's when an unidentified couple filed a complaint with the federal government. The duo claimed the bocce ball courts were not handicap friendly. The city took action and installed this ramp, making 2 of the courts wheelchair accessible. That wasn't enough.
In this case, the individual felt that it was too cumbersome to go down the ramp and onto the court.
For safety reasons, the city installed chain link fences at each end of the bocce courts, but then that made it inaccessible for handicapped players. So the city installed gates at 2 of the bocce courts, making them accessible to all players. The cost for the modifications, nearly $3,000. Some players say the new gates make playing the game more dangerous.
You're not supposed to standing on top of the concrete to put a ball, especially if you're a crippled person.
The city says the money was well spent. Now every player has an equal shot at playing and winning. In Cape Coral, Alex Boyer, NBC2.